Hannah Murray on TRE in the afternoon.
Joining us on the line now is Franck Benhamou, who has recently completed his 3,200-kilometre bike ride across France. Over just under 70 days, I think, he completed the loop of the country, showcasing 100 local food specialities along the way. How are you, Franck?
Good. Thank you for having me, Dana.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Congratulations. You did it.
Yeah, thank you. I was not sure I was going to be able to make it, but I did, actually.
Oh, amazing. So how long did it take in the end?
Oh, exactly. The 70 days,
Wow.
It was planned and it forced me to finish every stage, whatever the weather. And so it was good.
Gosh, I saw a lot of your posts. You experienced a lot of rain.
Well, it started with rain and heavy wind, and then it turned into very hot, extremely hot in France. And so, you get all kinds of temperatures. And when you do that kind of things, you expect it. So you just go through it. That's it.
Yeah. And what's the worst weather to cycle in? Extreme heat, I imagine, is very challenging.
I think wind is a big factor, actually. It seems that the wind is always coming from the front. There's a joke that if the wind is not in the front, is that you're on the wrong way. You're going the wrong way because it's always coming in the front, and that's very hard to pedal.
Yeah. And did you meet lots of interesting, friendly people along the way?
Yes, I always do on those kind of challenges. Every night, obviously, I meet people and it gets me an opportunity to meet people that I would not really meet, because I stop in very small villages, different lives, different level of education, everything is different, So it's always an enjoyable experience.
Yeah. And speaking French, obviously, must have been a huge advantage. So you could talk to everybody wherever you were.
Of course, I could relate. I could, we could talk about politics, about everything, yes, that's special, of course.
Yeah. So tell me about the food then. What kind of food did you try?
Well, the idea was in every city I stopped in to try the specialty. And it's amazing how rich and diverse the French food is, correct? In fact, many of them I had never heard of or tasted, let alone tasted. So I tried everything. Some obviously were fantastic. Some, is not my favorite, but I would still try it, especially in the sausages and things, but I had everything. I mean, it was entrees, appetizers, desserts, cookies, name it, Every place has their specialty. It's amazing.
Yeah. And was there something that you tried that you really didn't like?
Yeah, not didn't like, but some certain sausages it's not the type of things that I would normally order. I went for it, but, it's not a problem. But, that was the point. So, there were dishes that I was looking forward to. There were dishes that you don't normally eat in very hot temperature, like the cassoulet, which is a specialty of Castelnaudary, when it's 40 degrees outside, that's not what you eat, but it was very tasty, but it's a little bit heavy. So, but you go with the game and you try, and it's very special to eat, for example, nougat in Montélimar. That's if you say in French to any French person, you say Montélimar, they would automatically think about nougat. And so having that experience of eating it there, makes it a little bit special, correct?
Yeah.
And I discovered this at the same time, which I didn't know. So.
And desserts, I'm assuming, because you'll obviously have to be very fit to do these challenges that you're doing, I'm assuming you don't eat a lot of desserts normally, do you?
No, normally I love them, but in my normal life I try to be be careful a little bit. On here, I just went all out, correct? And actually, I was burning about 1,500 to 2,000 calories every day, correct?
Wow.
But as soon as you eat one croissant or another dessert, then you've made up for it. So at the end, with all the exercise and everything, I essentially didn't lose any weight. It's just I just came back the way I left.
Gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, but the food is so rich, especially when you do the desserts and the pastries and all the things. So there are a lot of calories.
And with regards to the terrain, I saw one of your posts on LinkedIn, I think it was, that you were expecting the days that were a lot flatter and better weather for you and maybe shorter to be much easier than the longer days and the big hills. But you didn't necessarily find that so much.
Yeah, I mean, this is a mental experience, okay? It's not physical. Obviously, there is an element which is physical, but really the real thing is mental, correct? So the question is how you prepare for each stage. And obviously, when the stage is going to be hard, you prepare for it. When you think it's going to be easy, you say, well, it's going to be easy, and you go almost relaxed. And then even easy stages are difficult, correct? I mean, we see it in the soccer field, like now with the World Cup, people, they used to play every 3 days, but that doesn't make the game easier for them. They're still tired, correct? And that's the thing. I had a friend who told me, after 30 days, it will be a breeze. Well, it is not a breeze. What you know is that you can finish, but during the day, it is hard work. It is really... it is hard work. I mean, there's no other way. It's physical, correct? Yeah. But so the key is mental, is how you prepare for it.
So did you change the way you started to prepare for it? Did you change the way you thought about it all and how you got your mind together before going out each day?
Yeah, well, the difference between the first days and the later days is that in the first days, you doubt. You don't know if you're able to finish it, correct? Because you haven't done it yet, And I'm not a cyclist, correct? So I'm doing these things from, with very little experience. So you don't know that you can do it. With practice, basically you gain in confidence and you can do it, but that doesn't make it easy. It's just that you can do it and you'll finish it. So that's the difference between the early days and the later days, I would say, correct?
Yeah.
And then, of course, sorry.
No, go on.
No, of course, you have also to deal with the physical strains here and there. It's so you have to mentalize for that also. Sitting on the saddle for 70 days when you're not used to it is not always easy.
No, absolutely. And was there anything that you could do to make that easier? I mean, I presume you had padded shorts for a start, but I'm still guessing that it doesn't. Yeah,
you use padded shirts, but more importantly, I think you use creams. After, during, before.
And with regards to, there was another post that I saw you did where you, after leaving somewhere, that your host said, enjoy the rest of your holidays. And it caught you by surprise because you didn't feel like you were on holiday because it was seriously hard work what you were doing. But at the same time, it wasn't really work. So it made you think about how we tend to put things into boxes a lot of the time.
Well, actually, this is the purpose of this challenge. At the end, the purpose of the challenge is an investment in myself, in my future self. Showing that I can still do it. I'm just, that I still have some batteries left, if you will. It's an investment about trying not to be a burden for my kids if I'm in good shape, and it's also potentially an investment in business because it opens possibilities. And when I talk to a lot of people on the road, and they tend to give in to comfort, and comfort is very attractive, but comfort is a little bit insidious. And then 5 years later, you say, 5 years ago I could do that, and now I cannot do it anymore. That's what comfort does. So by doing these challenges, I'm trying to get out of my zone of comfort and still live my life to the fullest. Many people on the road were telling me that they thought of my age or whatever, that they thought that their best years were behind them. And for me, it is not the case. So my channel is all about, it's really a channel for people who want more out of life. And when you look at that, then the classical boxes of work, holiday, retirement really don't fit exactly what I do.
Yeah, it is a fascinating thing, getting older and aging. Obviously, if people's health is affecting them in a negative way, then that, of course, can change things totally. But people who are healthy, primarily in their 50s, 60s and 70s, you can see some people who seem old and look old and dress old and act old, and other people who seem young in all those ways in their 50s, 60s, 70s or even older. It's really interesting how people perceive their age and what they do about it.
Absolutely. And this is how you perceive life, really. What is your goal? What is fulfillment? Can you be fulfilled purely in accepting comfort? Because everything that's worthwhile usually requires an effort, and comfort is don't get me wrong, I love to be comfortable, correct? I'm not an athlete, really. If I could, every morning I would have a coffee with my croissant and I would not do the sports, correct? But I know that I need it if I want to reach whatever 80 or, in the best possible condition. Maybe something will happen to me, but at least I will have done everything that is my capabilities. And that's my approach. And when you look at it this way, there are so many things you can do. And what I'm doing today, what I did when I walked across Europe, I could never have done that at 40. I was not mentally prepared, even though potentially I had more potential, physical potential. I had less capabilities. And that's something that is very interesting when you think about it with age. You may have less potential, but more capabilities. So because you're using the potential that you have to the fullest. Yeah. And that's the type of insight that I get when I walk and when I do these things, and that I share on my channel, basically.
Yeah. And it's good to feel good about yourself. It's good to feel like you're making good choices, healthy choices. And yeah, we've all experienced both, I suppose, where we feel sluggish because we, have eaten some bad food, or we've had a late night or had too much to drink, and we just generally feel crap, basically, both health-wise, but also mentally, because we're like, oh, what have I done? And all know how it feels to have made good choices and, got up and done a bit of exercise and had a healthy salad, and you feel good about yourself. And it's a much, much nicer place to be.
Oh, definitely. And it's more pleasant to know that you can carry something, you can bend, you can walk. But it doesn't happen by itself. There is a process of aging. So the only way to hopefully, at least try to counteract that is to do the effort. This is the point. If you don't, there is a process. So I prefer this to be able to walk like I walk, to do whatever, and I'm particularly happy because I did that bike tour with a traditional bike. Everybody was telling me to take an electrical bike and everything, and it was a heavy bike because I had all my clothes and stuff like that. And I was probably carrying 30 kilos, correct? So, obviously it was very tough during the day, but I'm so happy that I did it, proving to myself that I still have some batteries left, personal battery, if you will. You do feel good.
Yeah. And am I right in saying that you gave your bike away at the end?
Yes, it is. So basically, I didn't want to ship my bike from here because logistics was not so easy. So basically, I bought a new bike So I started my tour with a new bike that I had not tried, a new saddle and everything. And what happened is it was perfect bike, but I had to put to install the footrest myself, and I pinched the cable without noticing, right? So what happened is during the first day, I started riding and I couldn't switch gears. So I was stuck on one gear, and it's very, very difficult to climb on one gear, especially with a heavy bike. So after 15 kilometers, I was stranded on the side of the road trying to do something. And 3 cyclists came by and asked them if they were, any of them was a mechanic or something with that. And they helped me find out that I had pinched that thing. And basically, they got me to going. And without them, I would not have finished my first stage. And it would have been a mess for the whole tour, correct? So when I finished the tour as a gesture of thankful gratitude, whatever, I wanted to give them my bike, but I didn't know who they were. I just had a selfie that we had made. I didn't know their names and everything. So I posted a video on social media, and eventually I was able to track them. None of them had Instagram, so they were not, but through friends, they say, and on the last day, I was able to give them my bike. They can enjoy it, resell it, and have a great meal or whatever they do. It's great. So it's a little bit of good karma, if you will, for them, and to thank them. For a small gesture. For them, it was a small gesture. They didn't appreciate the importance that it had to me, and that's sometimes it's a lesson in life. Sometimes you do things that for you are, normal, irrelevant, whatever, but the implication for somebody else is sometimes tremendous. And this happened. So I wanted to share the thanks with them, basically.
Oh, that's lovely. I bet they were over the moon, were they?
Oh, well, first of all, as I said, they are not on social media. So or for them, it was like the whole world. They all had to create a new Instagram account because they didn't have them. So to be found on social media and having people say, "Oh, I saw you there on video and everything," that was quite special. So it was. It was a very nice end to the story, basically.
Yeah, definitely. And just goes to prove it's nice to be nice. You never know. I mean, people should be being nice for the sake of being nice, not because something will come back to them, but it's lovely when it does.
Much, right? Yeah, especially it didn't cost much. They stopped 5 minutes. Okay, we had a good chat. That's it.
Yeah, lovely. So
I'm so happy that I did a selfie with them, because if not, I would not have been able to find them.
Brilliant. So I know you're home for a little while now, recovering, I guess, and having a bit of a rest. But are you thinking about a new challenge already, or not yet?
Of course, yes. So next year I will walk Japan from point to point. So it's 3,000 kilometers. I'm walking across Japan. So in the process, right now I'm learning Japanese. It's just started because I'm going through little villages. When you do these long walks or rides, you go through very, very small places. So speaking a little bit the language, even though you have a phone and you speak English and everything, it helps a lot. And I'm trying to focus on that and planning. And again, sharing with the people this shift in perspective for the people who want more out of life. I would say, if it's amazing the possibilities that we don't know we have, and how that can change our life and give us a bigger life. I mean, I would never have thought that I could walk across Europe or do this 3,000 big loop of France. Never. I mean, I'm not, again, maybe some people may think that I'm a very athletic or whatever, but that is not the case. I'm really doing it because I have to, from a physical, I need to keep in shape.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Oh, it's brilliant. I think it's great what you're doing. If people want to follow you online, follow your journey and look back at what you've just achieved, is Instagram the best way of doing that?
Yeah, I think it's the easiest. And then from there will be other places more in touch with mental shift perspective and and what we want in life, basically. But yeah, Instagram is the best. I'm at frankly.speaking, but frankly spelled with CK, because in French we write Frank with CK. So that's why, so it's frankly.speaking, yeah.
Perfect. Franck Benhamou, thank you so much for joining us and congratulations.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you for having me.